everybody, welcome back to another SUPboarder video. My name's Ruben and I'm today going to talk you through the full range of Starboard inflatable constructions. There are lots of different boards to choose from and I will be going over the key differences between these constructions, what ones are stiffest, and of course at the end of the video we'll be advising what construction will probably be best for what type of paddler. Now Starboard offer many different board types in different constructions and obviously there'll be different price points, but also bear in mind you might find in a certain board type the thickness of the boards may vary compared to what construction you're looking for. For example, a Tikhine board is a different thickness to buying the same size board if you go for a Zen construction, and also your fin setup will vary compared to what construction and model board you're looking at as well. So for the full details, make sure you check out the Starboard website in the board you're looking at and the construction you want to buy it in for the full details of what the fin setup and the thickness the board comes in. So to start off with, Starboard basically offer three different construction types. They offer a Zen Lite, they offer a Zen, and they offer a Deluxe double chamber. Now we are going to talk about what's on these boards in material and why they differ, but first off we're going to go straight into our deflection test. Now a deflection test is where we put all of these boards on a gap of 1.5 meters and we put 75 kilograms of weight on the center of the board, and then we measure how much the board bends. We measure how much it deflects or drops. This is a really easy way to understand of the stiffest board and obviously the most flexible board. So let's start off with the most expensive ISUP construction you can buy from Starboard, and that is the Deluxe double chamber. When we put that through our deflection test, it only dropped 11 millimeters. So that's a pretty stiff board. Some of the stiffest boards in the market will be sitting around sort of 7 or 8, but bear in mind they might have extra cables you have to put on them, they might have stiffening rods you have to put down the side. This is a board you still just pump up and away you go, 11 millimeters. Just bear in mind all of these boards were pumped up to 18 psi when we've tested them, so they're all the same psi. But there is also something that affects the stiffness of boards, just so you know. It's actually the thickness. The thicker the board is, the stiffer the board will be. And also the less amount of PSI pressure you need to have on it to get the same stiffness as you would do if you had a thinner board and you put more pressure in it. So the other boards now in the deflection test are only 5.5 inches thick, and this Deluxe touring board which we tested was 6 inches thick. So it's another thing to bear in mind when we talk about deflection. So moving up from there, then we've got the Zen construction. That, in the same test, with the same PSI, dropped 15 millimeters. So it's not as stiff as the Deluxe double chamber. And obviously the cheapest price point board is the Zen Lite, and that is the most flexible, and that dropped 19 millimeters. But to be fair to that board, it's still a very good drop. Some of the most flexible boards we've ever tested on the market are sitting around the 25, 26 millimeters. So it's still a fairly stiff board, especially for the construction and the price point. So there you go, you can see the double chamber's the stiffest, the Zen range of boards is in the middle, and the Zen Lite is the most flexible. So why are they like that? What makes those boards different? Because the basic core of all these boards is the same. They're internal core of drop stitch, but it's what the layers and materials that go on top of that board which then changes the feel and the stiffness of the board, and that's what we'll talk about right now. So looking at the Zen Lite, Starboard say this is their leanest, lightest and most budget orientated technology, and it's all going into that board. It's definitely a board to get you on the water, and it sits a very competitive price point. But what is in that board? Well, the internal core is drop stitch, then you have a layer of PVC on top of that. The board is stuck together with its heat welded rails. It's got a double rail band around the side of the board, which is great for the toughness. And it's finished off with a recycled EVA crocodile style deck pad. So the easy way to understand the board constructions from here is every board has all of that in it, except more. Moving up from there, we move on to the Zen. Now, the Starboard say the Zen is packed with their welded technology. The welded technology, which again is still on that Zen Lite, is where they heat onto the board in one go. So it's heated on and welded onto the rails of the board. It makes the board much more durable. It doesn't mean the glue is affected by the sun. It's much better for the environment, and they have put it right across all of their boards. But where there's more material stuck onto the board, obviously there's more of that welding process put onto the board in general. So the most noticeable things you've probably noticed straight away with the Zen boards, the deck pad still has the forward section in the crocodile EVA deck pad, but the back is a diamond gripped with a tail pad. gives you that telltale it's a bit more performance based. Down the center of the board on the top and the bottom you have your 2000D compressed galvanized stringer, which gives the board a bit more shape and a lot more stiffness, and you've also got that compressed technology down the rails of the board, which gives it a bit more stiffness and again more durability. And under the area where you're going to be standing, they've reinforced that with hard standing plates, which take a bit more weight and obviously give you a bit more stiffness. Around the rail of the board there's a black strip, which is a rail band, does a couple things, gives the board a bit more stiffness, and it really sets off the board and the styling personally compared to the Zen Lite board. You still get the bungee straps that you do get on the Zen Lite. You get a better, more padded carry handle, neoprene backed, much better for carrying it further, and you get a paddle holder which also doubles up a handle at the back of the board as well. So having the extra stringers and the standing area reinforcement and the compressed rails around the side of the board, that's what gives the board stiffness. That's why this board is stiffer than the Zen Lite board, and that's why the board costs more money. So moving up from there, let's have a look at the double chamber deluxe boards. Starboard say these boards are safer, stiffer and lighter than ever before. The reason they say they're safer is because of the double chamber technology. In a basic sense, it's like having a mini board inside your bigger board. So you've got two valves on these boards. You need to pump up the inner chamber as well as the outer chamber. Starboard recommend you put 18 psi first in the outer chamber, the main board shape, and then you put 10 psi in the inner chamber. And that's the pressure we put it at when we tested it and put it through our deflection test. Having a double chamber on a board does give the board a lot more stiffness, and that's probably the biggest reason why this board is stiffer to the Zen. But it's not only just to do with the double chamber, it's also to do with how they fuse the layers of PVC onto this as well. On top of the normal drop stitch and PVC layer, you've got a fused one-shot laminate layer, and it really locks the whole double chamber, the two parts of the board, together as one. It's still got the same 2000D compressed rail that is on the Zen, but it's also got a 3K band of carbon around the top of the board, which is a thin band of carbon. It gives a lot more to the shape of the board, gives you a better shape profile, and it adds again to the stiffness. You still get the bungee straps that you do with all the boards, and you still get the padded carry handle like you get with the Zen boards, and you get the paddle holder. The deck pad is definitely better because it's throughout is the diamond grit deck pad. It just offers you a bit more grip and comfort. And also, like on this touring board, there's a few boards that have got extra fittings like the FCS mounts to store and carry things. So the deluxe double chamber really has everything when it comes to the board. It's finished off with all the bells and whistles as you'd expect from a more expensive price point. So you can see that's why that double chamber board is the stiffest board. There's a lot more material in it. There's a double chamber for a start. All of that really makes the board stiffer, but also bear in mind it does make it heavier too. The lightest board is definitely the Zen Lite. It's a great lightweight board, but that again reflects in the stiffness. The Zen sits in the middle of the average weights. When you're talking about constructions in any boards, the Zen Lite will always be the lightest board, the Zen will be in the middle, and the deluxe double chamber will be the heaviest board because there is the most material in it. Now, for those of you who've noticed that I haven't spoken about this beautiful board behind me, this is the Tikhine in the wave graphics. Now, the Tikhine range of boards is basically a Zen construction of boards, except it hasn't got exactly the same sort of features. It hasn't got the padded handle and also the reinforced stringer. The 2000D stringer that's on this board isn't on the top of the board. It doesn't go right up to the nose, but it does come under the deck pad to here, and there is reinforcing standing areas, and it is still on the bottom of the board. Still got the recycled EVA deck pad like all of the boards have got, but it's finished off in the crocodile style deck grip, not the diamond check deck grip that's on the back of the Zen and the full deluxe board. Paddle holder is still the same, and it also comes with a shoulder strap like some of the Zen boards do. It is a truly beautiful graphic designed by Starboard, SUP racer Sonny Honscheid. It is stunning. There's lots of different versions of it. If you really want a beautiful board to paddle and to turn some heads when you're walking down the beach, the Tikhine range of boards is the range of boards to look at. So that's the boards. Let's move on to fins. Now, when we're looking at fins, it can get a little bit confusing here because this is where certain boards in certain constructions do have different fins compared to the same board in a different construction. All of the Zen Lite boards come with the recycled fishing net fins. Upcycled fishing nets either taken from the bottom of the ocean or put into skips and fishing ports, and they've been made into fins. It's a toolless system. You just put it in, you screw it up, easy system, great for getting you going in a straight line, and it's a fantastic fin that you've got on that cheaper price point board. Moving up from that, the Zen boards sometimes come with the fixed Starboard super indestructible PVC base fins, great for the family, great for driving them up the beach. Or if you're going for the more touring base boards or the performance base boards, you get the Starboard recycled fishnet fins, but it is in a US box fitting, so you can slide the fin forward and back. Really nice touring fin, and the surfing fins are great as well. And moving up from there, the Deluxe double chamber boards all come with the FCS2 toolless fin system. It's an FCS fin, a well-made fin, well recognized. A lot of other top brands use it as well. Click in and away you go. Looking at the bags, the Zen Lite comes with a very basic but still very easy to use lightweight bag. It's a simple backpack, just put the board in, away you go. No wheels, no padding apart from the shoulder straps. It's absolutely fine for most people who want to get on the water and just store it in the back of the car to and from the beach. Moving up from there, the Zen, the Tikhine and the Deluxe double chamber come with the recycled bottle bags. They're called the Starboard Recover bags. They're a beautiful material, very soft, very hard wearing. Will's already taken one on several trips away touring. He said how hard wearing they were. The only thing to bear in mind that differences between these two bags is with the Zen and the Tikhine bag, you do not get the wheels. You only get the wheels on the Deluxe double chamber board. But all of those recover bags are way more padded, they're way more refined, much nicer and comfortable to carry further, nice and big zips to get the boards in. They really are catered for the higher level SUP experience. The pumps are all very similar again. Starboard soon are going to be going towards their completely recycled fishnet pumps, which are going to be great, but until that point a lot of the boards come with the Starboard Blue V8 double action pump. It means you can pump on the upstroke and on the downstroke, and then when the pumping gets hard and you can just pump on the downstroke. The two differences basically these two pumps is just the removable foot base. You can take the removable foot base off the pumps that come with the Zen, the Tikhine and the Deluxe double chamber. It makes it a lot easier to store in the bag and roll up. The one that comes with the Zen Lite board is exactly the same, except you can't take the removable foot pegs off the bottom of the pump. So I really hope you all followed what I was talking about there with constructions and different things on the boards and stiffness and stuff, but you've got to understand the most important thing when it comes to Starboard is all of these boards are very good quality, and it is a case of you do pay for what you get. So if you want to have the stiffest board, if you want to have the best paddling experience, then you are going to look at paying a bit more money, and that's really what we're going to try and take away from this. It really depends on what sort of paddling you want to do to know what sort of board you should go for. If you sort of say, I want to do touring, I want to try and push my paddleboarding a little bit further, maybe I want to go into a bit more surfing, you really are pushing into a certain discipline, maybe racing, then I definitely think a double chamber board is the board you should be looking at. If you are an entry-level paddler, you're not really sure if you want to paddle every single weekend, maybe the price point is a bit more something to be aware of, then you're going to be looking towards the Zen Lite. But at the same time, if you're a heavier person, maybe you're in the 110, 120, 130 kilos, I would really advise you looking towards maybe the Zen construction or the double chamber construction, just because of the stiffness. Obviously, the Zen Lite board is the lightest board, easiest to carry, but then it's the most flexible too. So if you're a heavier base rider, maybe try and go up the price point, look towards the Zen or the double chamber. The Tikhine range of boards is a stunning range of boards. It's definitely probably more of the flat water cruising or round based boards you're going to be looking at. They're really popular. All of the iGo boards are coming in this Tikhine range. Really good for the all-round paddler and to have something that really stands out from the crowds. But for most of you out there, if you're loving SUP and you can't get enough of it, and I know you are because you're watching this video, if you're paddling most weekends and you're really getting into the sport, then trying to upgrade from the Zen Lite onto the Zen construction is going to give you that more performance-based board. It's going to be easier to paddle further because it's going to give you a bit more stiffness, and there's a wider range of boards to choose from. So I hope you found that video interesting and informative. I hope we've covered everything. There's bound to be some questions out there that you want to ask. Please drop them in the comments section below. If you're a SUPboarder Pro member, fire them over to the Ask the Experts. And remember, if you're looking at where to buy these boards, check out our trusted retailer page. We're building it over time and we're looking to find the best retailers out there around the world. Until next time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.